But today I thought I'd go over a Joe Rogan interview with Konstantin Kissin and Francis Foster from Trigonometry. It's 3 hours. I'm going to do 15 minutes or so, see what they're talking about. They're smoking cigars because they're, the cool guys, the funny guys. They're just shooting the shit, as it were. Let's get straight into it.
Always a pleasure.
Great to see you, man.
Great to see you guys always. What the fuck's happening? Welcome to America.
We love being here so much.
Your country just keeps getting weirder every time you visit. Every time you visit, I want to ask you about some new
So
video.
does yours, brother. Let's be honest.
Guilty as charged. This is, I think we're really...
I think Joe Rogan did actually criticize Trump the other day. I mean, there's getting a point where you got to be able to criticize Trump. But, oh my God, Kissing looks ridiculous with that cigar. Oh my God.
close to like proof that the simulation is real.
I
think this is why things are so preposterous.
Do you know, I try and argue against that, and then I see what's happening in all our countries, and I'm like, you know what? Fine. Probably you've got a point now.
Yeah.
What specifically? Again, the fascist vague posting, what's going on? I mean, are you talking about the deportation illegally of people with visas, people who are citizens in America? You're talking about that? Are you talking about illegal tariffs? Are you talking about a fascist, pretty much oligarchy in America? What are you talking about? Can you be more specific, Francis? I don't think he will.
Yeah, you know when I really started, we were actually talking about this yesterday. I really started to genuinely consider it, like one of those where it like snuck in through my defenses, my logical defenses, when this girl Heather McDonald blacked out on stage while she was making jokes about being vaccinated, and then she blacks out and cracks her skull. Have you seen that?
Yes.
Legitimately. That was the first time in my life where I was like, there's no way. I was like, they're fucking with us.
Yeah.
They're just fucking with something's that can't be so dead on. Like this is like God is a script writer.
What? I didn't think it was this bad. I know Joe Rogan's fallen down the alt-right, far-right pipeline, but what? Someone passes out on stage? Talking about, it must have been the vaccines, or there's some conspiracy. What the hell?
Like, how is that a real thing? That's a video where someone is... She didn't do it when she was making fun of her boyfriend. She didn't do it when she's talking about idiots in traffic. It was...
Even Francis is like, what are you talking about, bro?
When she was talking about the vaccine and how,
It's Bill Gates. He triggered the 5G. He knew. He was in the audience. And he was like, he had his little keypad, pressed the red button, and then she passed out. That's what it was. Don't ask why, though, why he would do that. He just did it just because he could.
I even still got my period, so Jesus loves me more. And then, boom. Like, there's no way. It's too good. The timing was exquisite. You couldn't have, if you had a...
But how are you tying... I know he's insane about vaccines, but how are you tying a correlation between something that happens quite often? She may have seizures. We don't know. I don't know. It's quite common for people to pass out, especially on stage. Like, it's more common than you think. And then you're talking about vaccines, so correlation. What? Nonsensical. Truly nonsensical.
Movie where that was a scene. You could not have scripted or timed it any better. Where you would tell her, and drop. There's no way.
Nervous laughter from Francis.
I started legitimately wondering then. And I know that's a stupid example. I'm very aware of. Like, you fucking moron. All the things in the world, there's plenty of examples.
Examples of what?
God, Jesus loves me the most.
So nice.
Look at this. I mean, and the audience is laughing. Probably the best laugh she got all night, right? Because it's a big move. It's a big move. You know, if you're a pratfall person, no one expects it. Like, that's hilarious. If it goes with the bit, you know.
And it's timed perfectly, absolutely. What's that quote? God is a comedian playing to an audience too afraid to laugh.
Wow. What a great. Who said that?
It was either I've said it, and it's either Voltaire or Camus. I can't remember which one.
Jamie will find out.
Yeah, but that's the quote. God is a comedian playing to an audience
this
too afraid
Camus?
to laugh.
If that happened to me,
Voltaire.
There you go.
If that happened to me, my Russian grandmother would be just like, God is punishing you.
Yeah, and that's why Russians are scary to fight. They're harder people. They're harder people.
Now you'll learn lesson.
Yeah. We have business to discuss.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
It just
Joe
seems
Rogan looks
fake.
good
There's so
with a
much that
cigar.
seems fake. You know, it's like all the news, the people that are politicians. Everyone feels like they're like, who's the Fetterman character? This guy is wearing a hoodie and shorts. That's the wacky. Why Russians are scary to fight. They're harder people. They're harder people.
Now you'll learn lesson.
Yeah. We have business to discuss.
yeah, man. Yeah,
It just seems fake.
Joe Rogan's a comedian. I always forget that. Like, I've not seen much of his stuff, to be honest. But he's not a funny guy. Like, Russell Brand was a funny guy. He was. I think he was a good comedian. He was funny. Now he's not. But I've never heard Joe Rogan actually be funny. Neither Kissing, to be honest. Francis Foster, I'm not going to be mean to him because he seems normal. But these guys are comedians?
There's so much that seems fake. You know, it's like all the news, the people that are politicians. Everyone feels like they're like, who's the Fetterman character? This guy is wearing a hoodie and shorts. That's the wacky neighbor. You know, and then Jasmine Crockett, she's that loudmouth lady from down the street, and they're like, oh, here comes Jasmine. Shit's going to get crazy. You know, and Maxine Waters like, oh, she's old. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. It's like, these are fake.
What the hell is he talking about? Literally, what is he talking about? Fetterman has been bought. He was a Democrat, and now he's just pro-Israel. He's just a Republican. I don't know what Joe's talking about. I don't know what he's been smoking, but it's not just cigars.
Fake people. Nancy Pelosi, this giant-tittied lady who wants all the money, who's been in politics for 150 years. There's pictures of her with Kennedy.
I didn't realize Nancy Pelosi was well endowed.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Really?
Yeah.
You've done the research.
Well, there's all these photos where people are calling her, what's a gilf? A grandma you'd like to... Yeah. You never seen her boobs?
No, I have
No
never seen Nancy Pelosi's
No-
boobs, Joe.
No disrespect, Mrs. Pelosi. I admire her for her stock choices, but
Fantastic.
those are legit.
You know,
Those
I got to
are
say,
hammers.
this is a great start to the podcast, and we aren't even stoned.
How did you not know? How did you not know that you're a grown man? Look at the size of those fucking sweater hammers.
That is
Wow.
incredible. That has made me a lot more in favor of Congress.
So is
right
that?
there.
Wow.
Hold that. Go to that last
This
picture.
one might not have been, but it
That
looks
seems
real.
fake, but it might be like from the Clinton administration. See, these deep state vampires.
I really
that-
thought you were going to go somewhere else. When you said deep, I went, this is going somewhere. I didn't expect that.
Does he even know what that word means? He's just saying words at this point. Wow, like I knew Joe Rogan was quite far gone at this point, but this isn't the same man that you saw even 5 years ago, even longer. Like genuinely insane. And what will be interesting in the next 5 to 10 years, because he's going to be around till then, is he going to swing back, or is he just this now? Because I don't think he will. I think once the pendulum swings back to the left, he'll be like, oh God, yeah, that moment, maybe I just went insane. Maybe the power, the money went to my head, and maybe he will get some self-awareness. I genuinely think it'll be interesting to see where he is in 5 to 10 years.
These deep state vampires, as hot as Nancy Pelosi used to be, deep state vampire. No disrespect, Mrs. Pelosi. They've been around in the system forever. Like the relationships that those people make and the control that they establish and the Rolodex. And I got shit on Lindsay, and Lindsay's got shit on this guy, and it's like, Jesus,
It's a fucking dirty business, man. Oh, it's crazy.
bro. It's the dirtiest. It's the dirtiest business. It's the dirtiest business in the world.
You know what
Yep. Hot takes here. Politics is a dirty business. If you didn't know already, it is. But But Trump and Elon Musk, they're clean. Their hands are clean.
I think now that when I look at politics and you look at wrestling, and I remember criticizing like people who watch soap operas. I remember and just going, "Oh, they're so dumb." And I remember my ex going to me. She went, "Francis,
Was that part of his material? Oh, God.
you like soccer? That's just soap opera, but for men." And when you think about it, it kind of is. We just buy into our different soap operas.
Except soccer's happening for real, and the soap opera is just a dumb pretend of a goofy life that's not real.
Yeah, but politics is kind of soap opera for like adults.
Yeah, sure. I think it's teams for adults for sure. For
It is
people that
teams.
don't like sports, it becomes like a giant part of their. It's like a guy with a Cubs hat.
Mm.
You know, I'm fucking Chicago Cubs till I die. Till I die, bro. Chicago Cubs. One day we're gonna pull it up. Like people in Chicago, they fucking deliver. You'll fight you in Philadelphia if you don't like the Eagles. They will fight you. Like if you go to a Philadelphia Eagles game and you're from another team, they will beat your fucking ass, and it happens all the time.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. You're both Americans. Like this is the dumbest thing of all time. Like one's from a different city, so they're your enemy because they support.
But these are Republicans, the kind of people who fight at sports games. They're not Democrats. They're not leftists. So the idea that somehow, oh, yeah, we do have a very polarized, partisan politics right now. And it ain't going away anytime soon. But Trump is leader of a cult here. Let's not act like there's it's like a false equivalency. Like, oh, the left is like, no, people hated Biden. They knew that it was a compromise. People love Trump unquestionably. They don't question his logic. They just think tariffs are great. He's a good guy. There might be some criticisms, but they still fully support him. And even as he makes life worse for Americans, there's still going to be a hardcore flank that kind of see him that he can do no wrong. And that's when you get into the cult realms. Not that most people are, they're just caught up in the mainstream media. Like the Times, the zeitgeist, Trump's popular. But Trump is unique.
a different football team. We do it with everything.
I know you find that shocking, Joe, but in England, in Britain, that is like run of the mill. So in the 70s and 80s, each football team, and to some extent now, they had their own what's called a firm, which are these hooligans whose only thing, they didn't really give a shit about the football, the soccer. They would get together with the supporters of the firms of other teams to have fights in the car park outside the stadium. And they would travel all around the country doing that.
Yeah.
So it's actually it's one thing I love about American sports. Like you can go to the game with your kids and not worry about the stuff that people are going to be screaming and shouting and all that violence. You are a lot more chilled out than we are in Europe about that stuff, believe it or not.
Oh, I do believe it. I do believe it. But any like group like that.
Football is not the same as it was now in the 70s and 80s. It really isn't. You can go to particular places and there'll be some scuffs, but I don't know what Kissing is really saying there. Is he just saying what it was like in the 70s or like it is now? It's very different.
Like soccer, traveling group, you're going to attract some fucking psychos that hop along. It's like when the Grateful Dead go on tour. Like, I bet they're not specifically asking cult members to recruit with acid in the parking lot. But for sure, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
For sure. If you're like a psycho cult leader and you want to pick up some people, you're going to go to a place where everyone's on acid. You're going to go to a Fish concert and explain to them, you know, you guys, I know you're in between apartments right now. We have an amazing community and everyone's accepted. And next thing you know, you're in a cult.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you can't talk about cults today with not talking about Trump. It's impossible. Trump is a cult leader. He uses repetition. He uses all the classic tools of a cult leader. Access to information, like fake news. Anything that questions Donald Trump is fake news. That's how they do it. They control the information. Blind loyalty. Blind loyalty to the leader. Don't question him. Don't question the tariffs. Don't question his past. What is Joe talking about? I'm sorry, you can't be honest and not talk about cults and then bring Trump into the conversation. And they're kind of weirdly not talking about Trump I'm sure they do at some point, but interesting.
Next thing you know, you're doing acid with this fucking weirdo, and you know he's in the lotus position, and you're all pretending that this is normal.
But you know what's really interesting about soccer is that hooligan element, that's not just in the UK, that's right the way through Europe and in South America.
It's New Zealand too, right? Don't they duke it out in New Zealand?
No,
With-
it's
with
not in New
rugby
Zealand.
teams?
Yeah, rugby's kind of different because football with the hooligan element. So in Italian soccer, for example, they have what the hooligans are called the ultras. And they're so powerful that if the team is playing badly, then what the captain has to do, he then gets, in some instances, the ultras have blockaded the stadium, refused that the players leave, and the captain is then demanded to go and have a meeting with the head ultra.
Oh my god. That kind of pressure while you're playing a world-class soccer match.
Yeah, so then this kid, and let's be fair, he's a kid in his mid to late 20s probably, then has to go out and have a meeting with this 40-year-old tattooed psycho and
Oh
then
my God.
explain to him exactly why the team is underperforming.
Wow.
That's basically what professional sports is, especially soccer. It's like you're trying to do your best in front of 50,000 people who are all screaming that you're a cunt. You know? That's basically it.
Yeah.
In that sense, fighting is more pure because people don't really get upset at a fighter for losing. You really more like celebrate the other guy for winning.
Yeah.
You know, it's very rare the fighter gets demolished for losing. Like they would have to lose in a specific way. Like they'd have to quit somehow. But there's none of that in the UFC. It's like because to get at that level, you can't have any of that in you. By the time you get to the big show, like those guys are tried and proven. They're not. There's no cowards in that group.
No.
You know, so they don't get that same kind of criticism that athletes have, which is one of the because it's like literally your life's on the line. Like it's a different thing you're doing than just a sport, which is why the regular kind of journalism doesn't work in MMA. Like sports journalism in the United States, at least, is like super insulty. Like he's a bum, he's lazy.
Okay, I'm bored now. I'll see you in the next video. Hit the like button. Bye.